Question 81. During risk identification sessions, you and your team identified more than 150 risks for your project. You are afraid that evaluating each of these risks quantitatively will cost you an enormous amount of time, while not all of them are really relevant and important enough to justify such a measure. What should you do next? Identify risk triggers where possible. Analyze only those risks quantitatively for which no trigger could be found. Use qualitative risk analysis in order to prioritize risks for further action, such as quantitative risk analysis. Assess the probability of each risk qualitatively and further analyze only those risks with high probability. Assess the potential impact of each risk qualitatively and further analyze only those risks with high impact. Answer B is the correct choice. Use qualitative risk analysis in order to prioritize risk for further action, such as quantitative risk analysis. Question 82. During execution of a project, you observe that the performance of some of your team members is dropping, while others are doing a consistently good job. What should you try first to bring the team as a whole back to performance? Organize a team meeting and discuss openly the bad performance of the weak team members. Try to find a joint solution during the meeting. Introduce a competitive incentive system with a bonus for the 20% of your team which is performing better than the other 80%. Do not interfere but allow the team some time to organize itself and sort the problem out by low-level conflict management. Introduce a system of formal and informal performance appraisals, research causes for bad performance, and solicit mutual feedback. Answer D is the correct choice. Introduce a system of formal and informal performance appraisals, research causes for bad performance, and solicit mutual feedback. Question 83. Your management announced that they want to put you on a stretch assignment. In this situation, you should consider that a stretch assignment is going beyond your qualifications right from the start. Whatever your education, knowledge, and skills are, you cannot fail personally. Key stakeholders must have timely and complete information regarding your qualifications to make decisions regarding your suitability for the assignment. Stretch assignments bear an increased risk of failure, and this is rarely outweighed by the learning and development experience expected to come with the assignment. You should avoid the increased hassle coming with the assignment. It will not be enough for you to simply satisfy requirements and achieve objectives. You will have to learn a lot. Answer B is the correct choice. Key stakeholders must have timely and complete information regarding your qualifications to make decisions regarding your suitability for the assignment. Question 84. Following the cultural approach of the corporation for which you are starting to manage a project, you are guiding your project team through the first life cycle phase of conceptualization. Your next step is to call for a team meeting to let ideas emerge in an unrestricted creative process. What exactly should that look like? You write down the ideas of team members and structure them into categories of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats during the session. You creatively gather thoughts and ideas without any discussion or frowning. These ideas are only filtered and structured after the end of the brainstorming session. Your team members wear hats with different colors, each of which stands for a way of thinking. Each member discusses topics from the viewpoint of their thinking. You try to eradicate deviating ideas and concepts of team members during the meeting so that the entire project team follows your principles. Answer B is the correct choice. You creatively gather thoughts and ideas without any discussion or frowning. These ideas are only filtered and structured after the end of the brainstorming session. Question 85. In configuration management, which of the following is necessary to maintain the integrity of baselines? Analyzing variances by comparing baseline information with actual project data, releasing only approved changes for incorporation into products or services, ensuring that team members adhere to a code of ethical conduct and behavior, ensuring transparency across all project management processes and activities. Answer B is the correct choice. Releasing only approved changes for incorporation into products or services. Question 86. Which statement describes best the purpose of the communications management plan? The project management plan is a subsidiary or document of the overall communications management plan. The communications management plan describes rules of behavior and respect for communications in cross-cultural teams. The communications management plan describes the information delivery needs, including format and level of detail. The communications management plan focuses on the use of communications technologies by the project management team. Answer C is the correct choice. The communications management plan describes the information delivery needs, including format and level of detail. Question 87. Which is not a point used for 3-point estimation? Optimistic estimate, most likely estimate, budget estimate, pessimistic estimate. Answer C is a correct choice. Budget estimate. Question 88. Which of the following are not common barriers to project team building? Differing outlooks, priorities, and interests, role conflicts, excessive team member commitment, unclear project objectives, outcomes. Answer C is the correct choice. Excessive team member commitment. Question 89. During project planning, you are presented with the following diagram that depicts a cumulative likelihood distribution for the duration of a project. What kind of conclusion can you draw from the information depicted in it? The likeliness that the project will finish exactly at the date marked with deadline is 80%. The likeliness that the project team will exceed the date marked with deadline is at 80%. If the project team will meet the deadline, project cost will be 80% of the budgeted cost. The likeliness that the project team will meet the deadline or will finish earlier is at 80%. Answer D is the correct choice. The likeliness that the project team will meet the deadline or will finish earlier is at 80%. Question 90. While executing a project, you sense a slightly negative attitude in your team. Which type of document do you now need, among others, to better understand and then be able to improve the situation? Project charter, team performance assessments, cost baseline, statement of work. Answer B is the correct choice. Team performance assessments.